There we go. The first video I just tried to record was sideways when I was holding the phone the correct way, so I don't know what the fuck that was. What was I gonna say? I'm tired. It's almost 6 in the morning. Oh, I remember now. So I was gonna make a Reddit post giving my thoughts, reviews, and opinions about the certain fan films. See, I made a playlist called Official Friday the 13th Fan Films, which sounds like a contradiction, but it contains all the official films. Up, trying to scroll, not move, and also, fan films that are official through technicalities, whatever reasons, and whatever. And I was gonna make a Reddit post where I review all these fan films and give my opinions on all of them, but it's too late. It's too late slash too early for me to make an in detailed post about all these different films and type it all out. So instead, I'm just gonna do a video and just ramble. Oh, and I cleaned out my trash can, so now I have longer than a 15-minute time recording limit. That was English. Please ignore my stuffed up nose. I think it's allergies. I'm 99% sure I beat that pneumonia. If I didn't, I would probably be dead now. So, going in the order that these films were released, let's start with I'm only doing feature length films, not short films. If it's not long enough to be considered a real movie, I'm not going to, you know, talk about it in this video. So Never Hike Alone on its own, great film, great short film, great fan film. Better than some of the official movies, but it's not long enough to be a real movie, so skipping over that. First one we're going to talk about is Friday the 13th Vengeance 1, or Vengeance Part 1, or just Friday the 13th Vengeance, or just Vengeance. These fan films are confusing. They have a lot of names. But if I were to rank these, I made a tier list of all the official films using a tier list maker, and there was 4 slots. And the top slot was freaking awesome. The second slot was not as good, but still awesome. And the third slot was passable. And then the fourth slot was go to hell. Or going to hell. That's what I put on there, but I meant to say go to hell. But it was a typo. So using that same 4 slot ranking system, where would I put Vengeance? Okay, ranking the fan films differently than the official films, because all the fan films would probably go under passable or awesome but not as awesome. That's probably where all of them would go, except for maybe Never Hike Alone. Those ones would definitely go into the freaking awesome tier at the top. But I'm gonna separate that and judge them as fan films. So I'm gonna put Vengeance on the fan film tier list at fucking awesome at the top, number 1 slot. S tier for fan films. It's not perfect. It still has some problems that a lot of fan films suffer from, but it's pretty good for what it is. It's freaking cool. So it ignores anything after part 6. It picks up where part 6 was. Jason just walks out of the lake carrying the rock and then kills someone with it. Awesome introduction. Throughout the rest of the film, Jason kind of suffers from a little bit of mischaracterization that some of the later Friday films kind of did when they got picked up by New Line, and a good chunk of fan films get this kid wrong about his character. He just shows up and it instantly kills. He doesn't stalk beforehand like he does in the actual movies. He does it sort of here and there, but I think the 2 best examples of this out of character, out of pocket stuff for Jason in this movie was the random 2 chicks fixing a car. He just came up behind him and killed him. There's no build up. It just happens. And the prisoners scene. Now this one I can kind of excuse because they're all chained up, so they can't really go anywhere. So Jason can afford to kill them. Just come out blunt and start slaughtering them all. But the cops, though, those guys weren't chained up. He should have been. If this was done in one of the official movies, he would have picked off the cops one by one and then killed all the prisoners. But that's not quite what we get here. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. And we have two killers. Jason's father. So, unlike the official movies, they're actually trying to have lore and tell a story here, which the official, company was scared to do, fearing that it would alienate people. But the fact that the fact that Friday the 13th never got too deep with its story also made it repetitive, eventually killed the series. Although I have seen a lot of fans on the subreddit say they don't, and on some videos say they don't want a deeper story with their Friday the 13th. So the studio was kind of right, but like at the same time, I don't know. Some people want lore, some don't. Me, I could go either way. I could take Jason with deep lore, without deep lore. I'm a lore fan. I'm an FNAF fan. I like lore, so adding lore to my Jason would be a plus for me. But I understand if it's people just want to see mindless slaughter. Anyway, the ending where the boyfriend survived, it I was cool. That was a cool ending, and I was expecting more from it in the sequel, but we didn't quite. Spoiler alert for the sequel: he's dead. So they revealed him to be alive for nothing because he just died off camera. He never got out from under that boat. He just laid in there and accepted his death, I guess. One lore thing that I like that they did is actually tied the Jarvis family to the Voorhees family, saying that it was Jarvis's grandma who was one of the counselors that were screwing instead of watching Jason, forever linking the two bloodlines together as, enemies. We'll find out more about that in the sequel. And it turns out it wasn't Pamela that killed those two at the beginning of the first movie, it was Elias. Either he killed the wrong two people, or it wasn't just those two screwing, it was the four of them screwing that got Jason killed. There was four guards meant to watch Jason, and all four of them decided to go off and screw. Either way, Jason drowned. And it was Elias that found Jason and resurrected him with some magic from the Necronomicon or whatever. So there's something going on with Elias. What's his goals here? At the end of the movie, Jason attacks him and he says, "You're not my son." Something that I thought would be so much more important, but then it's just kind of glossed over in the next one. A little disappointing, but again, I'm judging just the first one here, not the second one. The first one, yeah, I'll put it at the top for specifically fan films. Like I said, if I was comparing the official films and the fan films together, it would probably be in the second tier, not the top tier. But, meh. Oh, and what its official tie is I thought it was written by the same guy that wrote Part Six, but I may have misheard that information. It's just the writer of Part Six appears in it as like a background character, which is cool. The guy that played Jason in Part Two, may he rest in peace, plays the sheriff here, who gets killed. Well, it's a good thing they killed off his character because they wouldn't be able to bring him back in the sequel because the actor died. May he rest in peace. Oh, Chuck Norris died today. Rest in peace, even though he was homophobic. That's that's neither here nor there. So yeah, that's my overall review. Could be better. The original, apparently, I got this from Reddit. Originally, the original upload of this had audio problems, and It felt a lot more cheap than it already felt. So that was not a good look. And the re-upload with the fixed stuff changed a few other things that the original had better. So, oof, not a good look. But glossing over the problems, it's an R. It's a good film. It's a good fan film. Next, now this one is a huge stretch to be here because it really has no ties, nothing with the official films at all. None of the actors come back, none of the music composers come back, none of the writers come back, nothing. This is just like any other fan film, but Deborah Voorhees, the woman who played Tina in Part 5, nice tits, head clippers to the eyes, sex all the time chick, that chick, she, along with Kane Hodder, read the script and approved it. They liked it. And I was like, well, if Kane Hodder approves it, and I'm going to say, I actually might like this better than Vengeance. I mean, it has some problems at some parts, and there's no actual final girl. There's no survivors here, which, whatever. I guess it doesn't have to follow the formula. It can do its own thing. But there was two cops, and they were both pieces of crap, but only one of them died. That was a little disappointing. That, near the end of the movie, they added a Crazy Ralph character, only for him to die not long later, and it's like that seemed a little pointless. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. So the story of this one is a bunch of was it bank robbers or just some other kind of robbers? They robbed something. Was it jewelry stores? Whatever. They pulled off a heist. Oh, it was bank. That's right. It was a bank. They pulled off a heist and are hiding out in Camp Crystal Lake till the heat dies down. And they kidnapped two people. One of them was one of the heist people's ex-girlfriend. Well, although she says ex, but he says they're still together. He doesn't want to let her go. It's kind of unhealthy, clingy, obsessive, all kinds of problems with it. She wants nothing to do with him, and he's fine. Still acting like they're together. It's oof. But yeah, they capture her and her friend, who if I remember correctly, has a kid at home. Got roped in because she happened to be there, so they had to take her with too. And she ends up fucking dying. She ends up escaping, luckily, but only to get killed by Jason later, which is like, holy crap. I mean, Jason didn't know she had a kid at home, but then again, would Jason care? I feel bad for her kid, man. It's like the pregnant lady that died in part 3. Damn. But it was brutal. Jason is so fucking brutal in this movie. Unlike Vengeance, this movie doesn't have any nudity. They do have sex off screen, it's implied. But I don't get how some fan films can get away with nudity on YouTube while some can't. I don't get it. I would have liked if there was some nudity in this. But for what it is, it's pretty good. I'm going to say, just like Vengeance, it's going to go in the fucking awesome tier at the top. Because Jason is fucking brutal in this. Sometimes the effects are a little wonky. Not wonky, wrong word. Little fake looking sometimes. Like you can definitely tell. But most of the time, this movie is fucking cool, man. And I don't think it's meant to be in continuity with the official films, like a lot of fan films are. I think it's meant to do its own thing. Because when we see Jason without his mask, he has a different scar, different damage than he has in any of the movies. It's got like a cut over his eye, not like the machete chop from Part 4 that we see in Part Seven's design. This one was more like diagonal. So this Jason has a different thing going on. He was in his own. He's doing his own thing in his own universe. Things happen differently here. He appears to be asleep in the lake, and when people show up on the land, he wakes up and comes out. So that must be how this universe's Jason works. It's interesting. Jason Rising is good, but it's it's just too short. It's 3 minutes too short for me to count as an actual movie, unfortunately. So moving on, Roseblood. Man, this one's official connection is they got the actors from the real movies, at least Tina, and I think Dr. Cruz. I think no, I don't think so. I think that's a different guy. But the actress who played Tina is back as Tina in this for the beginning and the end. Then they get a look-alike to play her in the younger flashback parts of the movie. And she died not long after this fan film. So this was her last film. So I feel bad for ranking this low, especially with the ending credits showing all the people that were this movie was in honor of, and it's like, fuck. They put a lot of effort into this, and I feel shitty for not liking it. But it's like, I'm putting it at the bottom. I'm sorry. Go to hell. Go into hell. Put it next to Jason Goes to Hell because it has some connections to it. Creighton Duke comes back in this thing. Similar to any Jason movie that tries to. Jason doesn't show up till like an hour into the movie. Like we wait an hour to finally see him. At least Freddy. At least Jason Goes to Hell had him right there at the beginning. But we don't even get that. But like I said, I do kind of like it when they try to add lore, but they spent more trying to add lore and world building than actually having Jason in here, which was annoying. And the whole manifest thing they're trying to establish is like, at first I kind of got it, but not really. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, that scene from earlier in the movie makes more sense now that I know what this meant. Okay, so Roseblood is about a character named Roseblood who befriends Tina. She has the same powers as Tina, if but a little bit stronger. She accidentally killed her parents, and the military is trying to use this power of theirs to, like, as a weapon, basically, and they're trying to manifest. Apparently, when she resurrected Jason in part 7 and broke the chain, that was manifesting, which is a weird way to put it. It seems like manifest, the word manifest, when you think about it, is like supposed to be materializing something or someone into like thin air, but it's not quite how they kind of imply that's what it is at the end when she summons Jason there and then opens a portal to send him back to hell. So there it was manifesting, but at the beginning of part 7, she didn't manifest him out of thin air. He was there, and she just woke him up, basically. And when she finally manifests him in this movie for the first time, an hour in, again, he's in the lake, and he wakes up and walks to the facility. She didn't just pop him in there. As for the other chick, Roseblood, earlier in the movie, they were trying to test out her manifestation powers, and it was a bloodbath, but we didn't get to see what went on in there. Then, towards the end, after Jason gets summoned, manifested, Roseblood summons Michael Myers. And he did just manifest out of midair. So, so they're very confused about what they mean by manifest. And now knowing that he shows up here later, that means that's what happened earlier in the room that we didn't see. That's why a knife got stabbed through the wall. She summoned Michael Myers in there. Speaking of Michael Myers, everyone seems to think this girl is just evil and just bad. Well, Tina's the only one like giving her a chance, and it's like, is she evil or is everyone just misjudging her? And it's weird that she has a connection with Michael, so maybe she is just irredeemably evil, but she killed her parents by accident, not on purpose. I don't know. I'm very confused. And okay, what else do I talk about this movie? The fact that the title character is Roseblood, so you think she's like really important, but she gets killed off by Jason at the end, which is like, why spend the whole movie building up this character, establishing lore and whatnot if you're just gonna kill her? It's gonna be a one and done. I thought maybe she could get a sequel, but no, she's just dead. So this whole movie just feels pointless. And it with Creighton Duke here, it kind of feels like they're trying to fill in the gap of what his beef with Jason is, and it feels like they're ignoring part eight. They just go straight from part seven to part nine. I guess that's what they're doing here because part nine does actually ignore part eight, according to some interviews. But when Jason does finally show up, it's awesome. He starts fucking these people up. Finally, something good. But one last problem, one last nitpick I have with this, I get the dates all weird. Like they say that part seven happened in 1988, the year the movie came out, but that's not. No, that's no. Did they not pay attention? The movies. Me as a kid made this mistake, but I was a kid. These movies do not take place in the year they come out in. The first one is in 80 set is the first one is in 1980 or 1979, depending on which version of the lore you believe. And then the second, third, and fourth are 5 years later. Five is at least 6 years later because Tommy was he was 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. Okay, so you don't count when you start. 13, 14. Yeah, 6 years later. Because Tommy's now 18 in part 5. 6 years after part 4. Part 6, who knows how long after part 5? That's still up in the air. But according to an interview, part 7 is 10 years after part 6. So ain't no freaking way it's still in the fucking 80s. And then part 8, well, takes place 1 year after part 7, according to something I looked up. But part 8 is its own universe. It has too many continuity errors. But, oh my god, it's just. So the movie, not only did they get the dates, like, wrong, so the movie flashbacks to 1988 right after the events of part 7, which doesn't fucking line up. They also have games and other stuff, like, that didn't come out yet. Like, what? Like they had Sonic and they had like other game references. Like these weren't out yet. I thought the movie kept doing small time jumps, but no, I think they just screwed up. They just screwed up. That's what? Oh well. The tease at the end though for a sequel with Kane with Savini Jason, that's fire. I hope they actually make that. I hope because I want to see Savini Jason in a movie. Damn it, he deserves to be in a movie. Oh well. Let's see what next. What next? I'm gonna go with. Oh wait, I think I skipped the movie. Okay, I'm gonna go with Never Hike Alone, the Ghost Cut, the original Ghost Cut, not the current Ghost Cut. With that has the original Ghost Cut contained Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow, and Disappear, the music video. Not in that order. They Disappear first, then Hike in the Snow, then Never Hike Alone one, because that's chronological. That's the order they take place in chronologically. All three of those on their own aren't long enough to be movies. The original Never Hike Alone is 53 minutes, Never Hike in the Snow is 31 minutes, and then the music video is like a 4 minute music video. So I skipped over them because they don't count, but together, merged together, and not just lazily slapped in like one after the other. They actually added in news scenes, like a commercial for Camp Crystal Lake at the beginning, and the music video has a Tommy narration over top the beginning. It wasn't just straight the music video ripped and put in there. They actually, so it's more effort than just making a compilation, basically. So it's a movie. The original Ghost Cut is a movie. The new Ghost Cut, it throws the movie Never Hike Alone 2 in there, which the Never Hike Alone 2 was already long enough to be a movie on its own. I didn't think you needed to throw it in there. Along with a sneak peek for Ghost in the Fog and a little teaser for Never Hike Alone 3 right at the end. So I'm talking about specifically the original Ghost Cut, which I don't know where to find anymore, but I have to put it at the fucking top, even above Vengeance, because all three of those films are already good on their own. All three of those little short films, and now you put them together, based. Because it's the most well-made fan films, and it's been heavily acknowledged by the official people. Basically, it's all but official. Ghost Jason appeared in one of the video games. This Never Hike Alone is official. I don't care what people say. It's got Tommy from Part 6 back in it, and Ghost Jason has appeared in other media, and the film 13 Fanboy acknowledges Never Hike Alone. The creator of Never Hike Alone, spoiler alert, is one of the two killers in 13 fan film. So, shit, man, there's just... I know it's official. Never Hike Alones are official. And what more do I need to say? I could just go over all the Never Hike Alone short films individually, talk about their plots and whatnot, but just go watch them and go watch the new version of Ghost Cut that has Never Hike Alone 2 in it. And if you can find the original Ghost Cut, which was just those three, please tell me how to find it and go watch it. But next, Vengeance 2. Once again, Part 6 Tommy actor comes back. But not only that, the Part 6 Jason actor comes back for like a Tommy hallucination scene when he's fighting Jason at the end. Jason puts the sack head back on because his mask got destroyed. But Tommy hallucinates him as how he looked in Part 6. And they actually got the real guy back. And he looks dead spit of Part 6. Like, holy shit. It doesn't just look like a crappy cosplay. Like a lot of fan films. Not to say cosplays are all crappy, but you know what I mean. Like, this actually looks like the real deal. Because it is. It's the same actor. That's why it looks so much like it's... I'm getting sidetracked. The plot of this is similar to the first one. Jason's dad is up to something. Ignoring the fact that Jason attacked him in the last one. Now Jason's back to sort of listening to him, but very loosely. He turns on him again at the end anyway and actually kills him. Rips out his heart. Crushes it. But apparently they need to kill the last of the Jarvis bloodline in order to complete some ritual. And it has to be Jason that kills them, not him. So, yeah, there's some plot going on here. But most of the movie is just Jason slaughtering. And similar to what I complained about in the first Vengeance, about how Jason's a little out of character, how he's just rushing in, going on a slaughter spree. It's awesome when he does it, but it's kind of out of character because Jason's more of a stocky stalker. So there's a roadblock, and all these cars are just waiting. And there's a bus full of... There's a whole bunch of people, right? If this was an official Friday the 13th movie, Jason would be watching all these people from the woods line. And maybe when one of them sneaks off to go take a piss or something, or just wanders off because they're bored, he'd pick them off then. And he would most likely do it like at night. But nope, he just comes out, starts slaughtering these people, slaughtering the cops, And I think maybe the reason why he's a little out of character here is because his dad is like making him do this because something's going on here. They're trying to do some kind of ritual, and I guess Jason's just more aggressive now. Maybe Jason just gets naturally more aggressive every time he comes back from the dead. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But regardless, some of the stuff from the first one that didn't get followed up on is a little disappointing. The boyfriend being dead. They never found out what happened to that last prisoner, so they were hinting that he could be alive. One of the original plot points was, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, one of the original plot points was the last prisoner that they didn't find the body of, got away, found the boyfriend, and those two teamed up. But nope, since they retconned the boyfriend surviving, they also showed what happened to the last guy, and Jason just fucking crushed his head. So a little disappointing here and there, but oh well. Tommy's two daughters, the one that keeps running off to go find him, she gets so many people killed. I, I don't want to be full. I don't want to be too mad at her because she's just a child, but at the same time, girl, stop. You're getting people killed because they're going out there to come get you, and Jason's killing them. Stop. Speaking of her, this movie has some fucking balls, man. Jason's dad kidnapped her and actually fucking cut her hand. Like, holy shit, not even many real movies, not to say fan films aren't real movies, but I mean, like, you know what I mean. Not even a lot of Hollywood made movies have the balls to actually hurt kids. And this, holy shit, I felt bad for her. Holy crap. The other sister, she gets fucked up, and somehow she lives, even though Jason slammed her. Like, holy crap, why are you not dead? But hey, maybe Tommy's whole bloodline is like super powered. The curse that binds the two bloodlines together to always feud makes both bloodlines ultra powerful. Some shit, I don't know. But I'm gonna put Vengeance 2 around the same spot as Vengeance 1. Yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome. I don't know. I don't know if to put it ahead of Vengeance 1 or right after. I don't know exactly what I'm just. I'll put it ahead of Vengeance 1. So it's Never Hike Alone, the Ghost Cut, Vengeance 2, Vengeance 1, then Voorhees. So that's the order they're in up there. Next is My Special Boy. This movie's official connection is the actor who played Tommy in Part 6, who has shown up in two other fan films, is the producer of it. Like, he produced this movie. And it's alright. It's kind of slow at parts. It's trying to be a reboot. It's not trying to actually tie itself to the official movies like a lot of fan films do. It actually is trying to be its own thing, like the 2009 reboot. Jason, has a new mask design where his chevrons kind of look like Harry Potter scars. And similar to the 2009 movie, they changed it to where the mama going on the killing spree happened right after Jason drowned instead of years later. So I like that change. I like that. If I were to make my own version of Jason, similar to making your own version of TMNT, where you can just pick and choose from previous iterations what you want to use, what you want to change, I'm going to go with the Jason drowning and the mom murder spree from part 1 happening side by side instead of years apart. That's what I'm going to go with. So I like that this movie did that. Jason looks a little odd though, like not just the mask, but him wearing just a regular shirt, like not a button up like he had from part 3 to part 9. or even like a shirt with a jacket on top, like he had in Freddy vs. Jason in 2009. Instead, he's just got like a little shirt. He looks like a kid still. It's odd. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But I'm gonna put this movie in passable. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in passable. You know what? No, I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it in the second slot. Not as good, but still awesome. That's where I'm gonna put it. Not as good, but still awesome. Next is Never Hike Alone 2. I don't know. I don't know if I should put it above or below the Ghost Cut. You know what? I'm gonna put it above the Ghost Cut. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll put it above the Ghost Cut. Never Hike Alone 2 is freaking awesome. It's gnarly. It's cool. And again, the Tommy actor comes back, so there's your official tie for not only the Tommy actor, but Rick the Prick. And the fact that the Rick the Prick dies is so fucking awesome. I hate Rick the Prick. He's supposed to be a character you're meant to hate, and damn do I hate him. Ooh, and he finally, even though he says sorry and says Tommy was right, I guess that was supposed to be like a redemption arc. I'm still satisfied he died, and died in such a cool way. Smash that head. Not just a normal hand on each side and crush. No, he punched down, which is so fucking gnarly. Savage as fuck. To quote another YouTuber I like. Oh, I love it. And when Tommy was like, you don't know what you're dealing with, and he's like, I think that's the other way around. I hate cocky son of a bitch. You underestimate my man Jason? My goat? My god? Yeah, you had that death coming, boy. But yeah, not much more needs to be said. And lastly, the one I just came out like 2 months ago, and I just discovered and finally got around to watching it. Come on, focus. There we go. Friday the 13th, not blood loss. Is it blood loss? Yeah, blood loss. Bloodlust? Yeah, it's blood loss. Anyway, Friday the 13th, bloodlust. Not bloodlust, blood loss. Fuck, can't even say the name right. But, it's a little slow. The acting is, it's bad, but you know what? I'm gonna put it in passable. I would still rather watch it than freaking Roseblood, because at least Jason is actually in it more. But this is another movie that tries to have plot, and for all those fans that say Jason movies shouldn't have plot, this is kind of proving their point, because it's kind of slow at times. So basically, this guy, I don't remember his name, he's the villain, purposefully drowned a boy in Crystal Lake to try to recreate what happened to Jason, because he's like trying to experiment with mortality and shit and whatnot. And also, he resurrects Jason's mom. So now we get Jason and his mom together killing side by side. This should be an awesome concept, but it's like underused, not well utilized. It's like wasted potential, basically. And the acting, my god, the acting in this movie. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's worse than the official movies, and we all know Rick. When they first got back to the house, Rick's acting there is so bad. Everyone makes fun of it. But this is worse than that. Like, oof. But how does this movie have an official tie? It has the first Jason actor in it. I thought he was playing Jason again, but no, he's just playing another character. He's playing a guy at the bar. I thought that would be cool if they got him back as Jason. Now, I don't know if this movie is supposed to be in connection with the official movies or its own standalone universe. I'm not sure. I think it could work either way, but basically the plot of the movie is, like I said, the guy drowned a boy to test out the lake, see how you make people immortal. And this detective guy is trying to solve the mystery here, and it's like a crime drama thing with occasionally a slashing killer moment. And it was kind of boring. From like I had to just my ADHD told me to just have it in a like small window up in the corner on my phone while I was scrolling Reddit or doing something else because I just could not keep my attention. Maybe I'll try to watch it again with less distractions, but ooh, this movie just drags. But at least the kills are good. They're pretty good. The lighting is kind of bad in some areas. And back to the acting, the point about the acting. And I mentioned the detective, the father of the boy, gives the detective, some of the information he needs to find our guy. I already forgot his name, the main villain. He says, I left a hard drive on your desk. You better go get it before someone else does. And then he just turns around and immediately shoots himself. And the guy's like, no. Damn it. And gets back in his car. Like, not even a pause to process what you just seen. It's like, no, back to the car. Let's get back in the car and drive. What? What the fuck? That's like the worst bit in the whole movie. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh well, they at least it's because the guy who played Jason in the first movie is back and he has his band called First Jason. We get some of those. We get his song in the movie, so the end credits has the what was the name of the song? Kill for Mother. The song about the golden Jason mask. That's in the end credits, and that's pretty freaking awesome. So, yeah, that's my ranking for all these fan films, and that's my personal thoughts and opinions and my review of them all crammed into a nice 42-minute video. Now, if I'm going to try to rank them all compared with the official films, as well as the other miscellaneous films like 13 Fanboy, the documentary, his name was Jason, plus the scary movie spinoff Stan Housing, which has a Jason knockoff character in it. Is there any other? Oh yeah, Halloween Friends, where we have J Daughter. If I were to like make a tier list and get all these movies in there too, ooh, that might be a harder ranking video. I might make another tier list for all the other Jason media that's not a fan film but not official film either. It's mostly parody. Yeah, I might make something for that. Shout out to a fan film that doesn't have any official ties. It is just a straight up fan film. It also doesn't follow the Friday formula, but it's still good. Called His Name Was Jason, not to be confused with the documentary. This is a fan film called His Name Was Jason that takes place in between part 1 and part 2. We got Sackhead Jason in it. And the whole movie revolves around 3 guys. So, movie has a low body count and no nudity. Like I said, it doesn't follow the Friday formula, but it's still more enjoyable than some of the fan films I've seen on my playlist here of fan films that have official ties. So, if you want to check that one out, check it out. It's pretty good. And if there's any other fan film that has an official tie that I missed, because just when I thought I found them all, I found My Special Boy. So, is there any others? Is there any other fan film that has an official tie that I don't know about? If so, please let me know. But, yep, that's pretty much all I got to say. Oh, another fan film that's on YouTube, Friday the 13th Revenge. It takes place in between part 8 and part 9. It's supposed to explain how Jason got back to the Crystal Lake. It's one of those fan films that somehow got away with showing tits on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, how the hell did you do that? Other than that, the movie is just a standard Friday the 13th movie, and it's pretty good. Pretty good for what it is. It's got Jason in a flannel shirt, which is a little strange, but alright. Alright, that's. Oh, one more fan film that's not official, but it's pretty cool. Friday the 13th Part 10, or Friday the 13th Part X, To Hell and Back, which was clearly a film made right after Jason Goes to Hell, but obviously didn't get released till like years later online. Like, this was probably someone's, because it looked like someone made it and then had like a few copies made on VHS and probably gave it to their friends or sold it to like people at like conventions or something. Because this film looks old. It looks like VHS. Someone just ripped the VHS and uploaded it on YouTube. That's how it looks. And it starts with a cult summoning Jason back from hell, and he looks similar to how he looked in Part 9, but not fully. And he just goes around killing people. In this, he kills someone with a pair of scissors in this movie, which is unique. And at the end, after they defeat him again, I think they send him back to hell. A cop finds his mask on the ground, puts it on, and gets possessed by Jason, similar to those books. Which I think getting possessed by him from wearing his mask is much better than what they actually did in Part 9. Fucking demon heart bullshit. But, alright, that's the last fan film I want to shout out for now. So there's some official films, as well as me shouting out some unofficial, official, technically official fan films, as well as me shouting out a few miscellaneous, just other fan films. Well, that about does it. See you guys next time. Peace.